There were many mass migrations over time on our planet, including slave trade from Africa, post-major disasters, and the potato famine in which we're focusing on today. This is a world map and we'll come back to this. In 1845, a potato blight nearly wiped out Ireland's potato crops. This occurred due to an unusually wet winter and summer the year before. The problem here was the swollen Irish population of 8 million people was almost completely dependent of potatoes to feed itself. With the failure of the potato crops in 1845, a famine set in Ireland. The results were catastrophic. At least 1 million people died over the next 2 to 3 years. This catastrophe was aggravated by the fact that the British government was strongly protectionist. There was an imperial preference in trade. So, tariffs were imposed on agricultural products from outside the British Empire, such as the US, Argentina, and Germany. The British government, seeing the scale of the famine, repealed these so-called Corn Laws in 1846. This was, however, too late to save the Irish population. Another major consequence of the famine was a spike in emigration from Ireland from three top countries: the US, Australia, and Canada. The Great Famine of the late 1840s drove 1.5 to 2 million destitute Irish out of Ireland, and hundreds of thousands came to British North America. This map shows the major migratory routes originating from Ireland to the countries listed before.
Why was it important? The Great Irish Famine, causing the Great Irish Migration to North America, had enormous social and demographic consequences for America. Because of this forced migration, a good number of present-day white Americans have Irish ancestry. In some of the northern states, up 1930, up to 39% of the population was Irish. Cities like New York, Boston, Toronto, and Montreal swelled with Irish immigrants. This Irish spread produced a very large number of Union soldiers from states like New York, Massachusetts during the American Civil War from 1861 to 1865. 22 American presidents have some degree of Irish ancestry, many from descendants of Irish immigrants that came over as a result of the famine, such as President Obama. The social and political culture of these major northern cities was permanently changed by the Great Migration, with the Irish Americans being a large percentage of the politicians, policies, workers, and criminals. This was a kind of eco-migration because of the climatic conditions destroyed the already tenuous nutritional base of this overpopulated island in 1845, with destruction of the potato crop and the British government falling apart. The Irish simply had to leave their nation to survive. There was clearly a push factor of this emigration, the fact that they were starving and dying in Ireland. In America and Canada, there was a chance that they could eat and survive, which is a pull factor.